Yeah, I'm just listening when you guys are ready.
They've been ready for about 15 minutes, 20
I feel
minutes.
like I over his shoulder.
All right, what you got? No, nothing, right? No, coming off a bye week, really couldn't have come at a better time for us. We were able to heal up, get our energy back, get a, you can call it a pep in your step. A lot of mental reps in practice. We practiced 3 days last week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 2 of those days were big, focusing on ourselves, corrections, adjustments, personnel, situational football, different things. A lot of mental reps with it, a lot of walkthrough reps. Really trying to get these guys back fresh. Practiced in pads on Thursday. Started our preparation for Duke, and then obviously the weather hit this weekend, and thoughts go out to everybody around the country that was affected in regards to the storms that came through, the floods, the rains, the winds, all those things. I know myself, we were locked up for 2 days. It was about 12 feet of water floating down Peachtree Battle. So it was, seeing people rescued out of boats across the street from us was pretty eye-opening. So we a lot of people were affected across the state of Georgia, but also the southeast and throughout the country. So, getting preparation for Duke, a home game, come back home, 8 o'clock game, and be in front of our fans, our students. And our students have been such a huge impact in the games, our home games, and been a huge impact in the outcome of those games. And it's exciting to get back in front of those people, see the fan support, see the student body all come out, and again, just asking everyone on campus to show up and be as loud as you can, and our players really appreciate it, and I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Saturday night. So again, a lot of work we've gotten done, a lot of things we've gotten worked on. But I thought more than anything, when we came out on Sunday night to practice, we looked fast again, and that's what we're looking for. And it was a grind of a start of the season, and that's what the name of the game is, though. So now we're into another part of it. But it was good to see us out looking fast, good energy, good communication, and the tweaks and adjustments we've made within the schemes in all three phases. So with that, now we will ask any questions.
Go ahead.
It seems like the left side of the line kind of let you down in the Louisville game. Has it maybe been as what you expected in the last couple of games? Do you maybe make tweaks there? Is that something where the bye week could help you maybe look at options?
A lot of tweaks we've made, on the whole team. Like I said, we'll look at everything. We're putting the best guys out there, best guys that can help us win, creating versatility in the positions, increasing the depth by developing young guys. So we'll continue to do that, and when guys are ready to go, they're ready to go. But look, no one goes out on the field and tries not to play well. No coach goes out and tries not to coach well in the game. Sometimes they line up and the other guy gets the best of them, and then that becomes on us as coaches to get it corrected, get them improved. But it wasn't just the left side. There was across the board. We all, everyone collectively in the game had things they did well and things they didn't do well. So we got to make improvements in all those areas.
And when you evaluate that offensive line, has it been missed executions or personnel driven in terms of some of those?
It's
everything.
There's everything. I think I said it after the game. It's been 2 months ago since that last game, but I can't hardly remember. No, it's what I said after the game was dead on. There's not one in particular thing. There's not one in particular person. There's extra guys we've got to account for in the box. That's schematic. All right. There's movement where we've got to account for and be able to handle movement up front. Loaded boxes. It's all encompassing in everything. And the evaluations were deep. They were look, I walk into the staff room right after the last game before we start the bye week. I challenge every coach, everyone on staff, and then I walk into the team meeting, challenge everyone on the team, all right, to self-assess. We do self-scout, but the biggest self-scout to do is to be able to self-assess and look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this isn't working as good as I wanted it to. This isn't working as good as it used to work, and what adjustments have to be made to correct it.
There's been some issues with the field goal kicking team.
Like what?
What were you able to see when you watched the film? Was it mechanics?
Block. Return for a touchdown. That, yeah, again, it's all encompassing. I'm not going to say one person or one thing or one thing. It's everybody, and ultimately I'm responsible for it. So it'll be fixed.
Coach, you often talk about momentum gets sustained by what you do week to week in practice and how you prepare. When you look at results-wise, from where you guys were at in camp to now, how have you seen you guys progress as a team? What's your evaluation of that?
Yeah, you by 4, 5, 6 games in the season, you really do know your team. You know what they're about. It's all kind of hypothetical going in before the season starts, but I do feel as if we know the team. We know them well. We know what they're good at, what they're deficient at, what we've got to improve on. Assessment to this point, probably have to say the same thing I told the team. Look, we're playing hard. This team plays hard, right? Are there certain instances, certain plays where you want somebody to play? Yes, there always will be. But the team plays hard, right? Playing hard and preparing the right way, right, gives you a chance to have success on Saturdays. It guarantees nothing. There's no guarantees just by coming in and practicing hard, preparing the right way, playing hard, right? And playing hard just gets you there. So now you don't play hard, you don't play smart, then you got zero chance. So the decision making is what we've got to improve on. Okay, that's the thing where you play hard, you're elevating the way you play. Look, like I said, everyone wants to win. They want to do everything to win. Well, then they're still doing your job, not trying to do more than your job. Being in the right position in those things where, as the stakes get higher, the emotions in games get higher, the intensity gets higher. Conference games, versus undefeated teams or ranked teams, really everyone have left on the schedule. You've got to be able to keep those emotions in check while the intensity elevates, right? So playing hard, but level-headed decisions. It's crazy, there's not a player or coach in America that's ever, after a game, you're like, what did I do? Or what did he do? Or what just went on there? We've practiced that 100 times and it never happened like that. Well, it's because games are different, and that's why I say all the time you want to elevate the practices to match what the games are, and that's been the big intentional thing that we've done the last 2 weeks is really put the focus and intent on every single play, that it is the most important play, elevating that mental intensity, that mental strain, all right, along with the physical strain on you to try to help the decision making that takes place.
Coach Key, getting back to the field goal and forgetting for a minute the block, but Aiden's 3 out of 6 the rest of the year so far, and after a phenomenal freshman year, it'd be hard to live up to that. But do you see anything inside that part of the kicking game, precision-wise or timing-wise, that gives you concern going forward?
Yeah, it's not going in. I mean, look at the ones he's missed. Where are they at? Right hash, 33-yard line. Yeah, let's don't have a fourth down on that spot anymore. That'll help solve it. And I'm being real. Like, it's 3rd and 14 in the game 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, whatever it is. Right? It's 3rd and 14, and his ball's on the right hash, on the 33-yard line. I'm like, going through my head now, I'm like, okay, do we go for it on 4th? All right, if we don't get it, do we go for it on 4th? Do we try this? Do we try that? It's 33-yard line, right hash. And I looked over at Chris Winky, and he goes, if we don't get it, it's 4th and 14. I said, yeah, Chris, it's right hash, 33-yard line. He went, oh, boy. But that's what it is. And you can't hide from it. You can't act like it doesn't exist. You can't put your head in the sand with it. We got to do a better job of getting the ball down there making some higher percentage kicks, but also he's been working his tail off on those kicks. And I'll tell you, and the one that was blocked, he drilled it now. And he missed the first one. He came to me after. He was, Coach, I ain't missing two. I'm not missing two. And he stroked that thing now. And but some other things didn't take place. And like I said, it's everybody involved in it.
You talked about maybe this point in the season where you may see some younger guys start to earn more playing time. Are there a few guys maybe that we might see more of going ahead here that have kind of impressed you through the first 5 games?
Do you know something I don't know? Like, you're asking about like guys playing. I don't. Yeah, I'm sure there is. There always will be. Everyone's got a different timetable on how they develop and when they're ready to go.
Jeff?
Duke has a pretty impressive defense so
Yeah,
far.
they do.
What have you seen out of that unit going in?
They are either first or second. I think second right now in the country in TFLs, in havoc plays, in stuffed runs, which were really are 0 to -1, -2 yard runs. I think 42% stuffed runs right now that they have. It's a credit to the way they play, the physicality they play with, the speed they play with. But when you look at who's creating the negatives, it's not just D linemen. Right, it's not just D linemen, linebackers. A lot of DBs. And there's a lot of safety pressure, nickel pressure, inside, outside. I mean, that's what Manny is. That's who he's been. They're able to adjust their blitzes with because that's who they are, to different motions and different things. Look, Manny's a good football coach, and he's a good defensive football coach. Going against him a bunch in my career, I respect him as not just a coach but as a person. I think he's a good man, and he's a heck of a football coach. So excited to have them here and play here at Bobby Dodd.
Coach, just 2 questions for you. The first one, going back to
Only
the
one at a
defense.
time.
Okay, that's fine. You're the boss.
So you got the microphone. You are.
We're going to defense. I'll ask one at a time.
Flynn.
Yeah. Going to the defense first, just back to Chad's point. With Manny coming in, they've held all their opponents under 21. Schematically, what makes his defense, stand out or more significant than other coordinators and coaches that you've seen across the country to do it so quickly?
Yeah, well, first off, there's a lot of players back. They had a good foundation. And I'm not saying this because Tooch and Jess and those guys are here, but those guys play hard. They do. They play hard. They've got good players. They're strong. The strength coach there does a really good job with them. If I'm not mistaken, he was there with them previously. So he does a good job with those guys. But they're disruptive in how they get up the field. The defensive line, they are a penetrating group. If they're not, zone blitzing or fire blitzing and going, step slant and gaps over, they're getting off the ball. They're getting up the field, causing disruption. So I think anytime you take over a group and you've got some experience and they're used to how you're supposed to play and playing hard, it's an easy turnaround because it's just a different. They might call it apples, they call it oranges. All right, but they're still playing hard, and they're really good against the pass. I mean, they got an experienced secondary. Added a couple of new guys in here and there that have really helped bolster the depth. They play a lot of guys, and the D line do a nice job of playing within the scheme and creating havoc and letting those other guys or creating space really for those other guys to make the plays.
Then when you go back to decision making, you had just mentioned a minute ago, Haynes has the fumble, kind of ill-advised in that game. You talked all offseason about his decision making and knowing when to and when not to force it. When he does something like that, what's kind of been his response you've seen, over the bye week to not making a critical mistake like that?
Yeah. Look, the game is, not to say the game's a game of inches, but I mean, 3 inches away from that ball, I think it was Malik. I mean, there's nobody covering him. That sucker might go 94 yards. And now it's a magician trick that he pulls, and it's part of the play. Guy falls, the safety falls off of the other receiver, comes in, tips the ball. Again, that's what I'm talking about, the intensity of the practices and the speed of practices, and getting your scouts to be able to play at that speed. Look, he's trying to win the game as bad as anybody, right? He puts more on himself than anyone. He's very critical of himself. He's like a coach on the field. Kid played a good football game, right? Look, everyone makes poor decisions at times, but I look at it really. You can go back 4 plays, right? You can go back to the punt return, all right? Toes on 10, all right? Rodney's fearless, all right? Catches the ball. His toes are on the 10. He's trailing back a little bit. Catches it. Well, we also have a guy that when a guy had to take himself out of the game, previous play, he gets. I mean, if you look at the punt return, one guy on his man on the block, and now that thing squirts 30, 40, who knows, right? So it's a culmination of events that happen, right, to put you in that position, and now you're trying to get some yardage to get it, more room to punt, and out the corner of your eye, the outlet's there. You spit it out there, and the kid made a really good play on it. So, look, do we coach those things up? Yeah, we coach those things. But I've been very pleased with Haynes to this point in the season. I'm glad he's our quarterback.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Haynes, and I know you guys put a lot on him, but do you need to use him more in the run game to jumpstart things, maybe being a little more creative with how you guys run him to open it up inside for Jamal and whoever at running back?
You can write them down on your little pad, draw them up, and give them to me. Yeah, yeah. You put little different things on there, and I mean, you think we just sitting here until late at night and come up with things that don't work? I mean, come on now. Look, I mean, there's, you open up with the first game, all right? It's always the unknowns in the first game of the season. All right, the second opponent, it was their first game, and there's unknowns. And then for 3 straight weeks, we play teams that play different defenses that they did not play previously to them. Okay, so that's assessments we make as coaches, right? Yeah, from Syracuse, VMI, and Louisville. I mean, they're playing defensive fronts and coverages and blitzes that they had not played up until then. So as coaches, we say, okay, well, this is obviously the MO on us right now, offensively. People are doing things that aren't planned or aren't really their base, I guess you would say. So how do we have to practice ourselves now to be able to anticipate there's going to be – look, there's always things in a game plan that are different, but to have completely different defenses, that one's a new one for me, okay? And so we had to make some adjustments, some things we do, all right, to be prepared for that now. So, but yeah, we try to make all of them work.
Just a couple more. Go Patrick and then Chad. Wrap up.
Coach Key, going the other way, pardon me, have you or your assistants found a different way to approach some consistent pressure on the opposing quarterback? It was a problem at Louisville and obviously at Syracuse as well. Without stunts and such, is that a schematic thing or is there more to that?
Without stunts, we stunt about 65% of the plays. So actually it might be a little bit more after that. But we had better pressure on the quarterback against Louisville than we had all season. That was as good as I thought the defensive front and linebackers had played all year. We got to continue elevating ourselves in that. Are we coming home and getting sacks? No. Right? Look, I wish I had a magic shaker bottle and could get it done too. But I mean, there's, you can run all stunts and blitzes and things you want, but right, you got to be sound in what you do. Right? You on the back end, you can't just unload and bring everybody and have guys running free. All right, so there's balance when it goes there. The thing I've been really focusing on with the team, and this goes across all positions, are second efforts. Right? There comes a point in every football play, especially at the line of scrimmage, where the ball snapped, there's a start. Okay, there's a starting point. Somewhere in that play, every time, there's a point where you get stopped. Okay, whether you're blocking somebody at the front on the O-line, whether you're pass rushing as a defensive lineman, right? There comes a point where it stops. Right, so there's a start, there's a stop. Well, now you have to have a restart second effort. All right. And that's what we've really been focusing on, is that second effort now, right? To the strain in the second effort to continue to win a one-on-one pass rush or to finish a one-on-one run block, one of those things. The second efforts that we've been focusing on. I mean, there's nothing wrong schematically. Believe me, I'm as critical of that as anybody when it comes to things we're doing. Are there the tweaks and adjustments we've made? Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, when you got 2 sacks in 4 games, I mean, you're not going to sit there and just keep doing the same thing. So, yeah, that's what we use the bye week for, with some different things, but I'm not going to sit here and go through the game plan either, schematically what we're doing.
Thank you. Chad, if you want to wrap this up.
Yeah, just with the Saturday off for yourself, how'd you spend it? Recruiting, family time, game film? What were you up to?
So, woke up on Friday. We were supposed to be on the road. We had 4 guys that were able to get out. Others were not. I was supposed to be out. Woke up Friday and saw a car underwater on Peachtree Battle. Next thing you know, the news trucks are there, and Good Morning America and Today Show, all that stuff's out there in front of my house. And yeah, that's pretty much what I watched. I watched the water rise and watched the water level go down. And then once it stopped rising, then the boats came in and started rescuing people out of their homes. Some of them had newborns. Then as they started going down, they finally went down. Then you saw all the tow trucks and the power trucks and all that come through to get all the cars that were sunk underwater. In between then, yeah, I watched a lot of Duke film. Did recruiting. We weren't able to go on the road, but we were able to evaluate a lot of the film, talk to a lot of kids on the phone, FaceTime a lot of guys on the phone, watch a lot of film, game plan, watch some other games. And regardless if the bye week is 1 week before Halloween or 6 weeks before Halloween, me and Harper are going to put up Halloween decorations. So if anybody drives down Peachtree Battle and sees the big haunted house on the hill, it's spooky now. It is. 12-foot skeletons in the front carrying body bags and shovels, big cemetery in the front, colored lights on the house. A lot of, it's a pretty cool, it's a little seesaw. It has 2 zombie children on it, seesawing back and forth. Werewolves, clowns, a lot of clowns. And for some reason, there's like a red balloon coming out of the sewer right next to my house. So, I don't know.
You give out full-size candy bars?
To you? Not a chance. No, we give out what was the stuff that we didn't like? You love when you get a Snickers or a Twix, or, some Baby Ruth.
Circus peanuts.
The peanuts, those little candy corns. Little candy corns, those things. Yeah. Nah, I mean, I'll tell you what, if you guys come by trick-or-treating, we'll have some nice candy bars and some things laid out for y'all. But you got to beware of the clowns. Hi, children. Is that it? Yeah. All right. Appreciate you guys. All right. Go Jackets.
Is that your favorite holiday, Halloween?
It is. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Especially now you got a kid, it's even more fun, right?
it really is. And Harper loves the